I know it's been a while and I want to say hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I know this is a weird time, but I wanted to come on here because I finally have the time, obviously, because we're on lockdown right now where I am. I will put the timestamp down below if you want to skip my little talk about the situation and my updates and etc. down below. That's kind of rude, so don't do that. Listen. No, kidding. You don't have to. Which I'll get to in a second, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on. And maybe messages that I have that can help you during this time if you're feeling some anxiety. That topic is definitely going to be tying into the reading, by the way. I do have some cards on the bottom of the deck that are indicative of that. First of all, we have the Four of Cups here. This is like, for me, this man here is really in his thoughts and in his head that he can't really see the blessing in any situation that presents itself to him. He looks like he's not really paying attention to the beauty that surrounds him, all of these things that he has going for him. He seems to be worried about something. Obviously, you can see he's kind of bored sitting under a tree. I mean, this is, I think, indicative of maybe what's happening to some people who are in quarantine or on lockdown. In addition to that, we also have the cross here on the bottom of the Lenormand deck, which are both decks that I'll be using. And for the bottom of the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, we have To the Sea, which is interesting. I haven't gotten this card much at all in this deck, so I need to look at the meaning of that and then I'll obviously share it with you. And then we have Compassion on the bottom of the Numerology deck, which is interesting as well because I think we can all use a little bit of compassion nowadays. So I'm gonna go check out what the To the Sea card means. This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Perfect for this situation with you know what. I don't know if I'm gonna succeed in not saying the word. I kind of want to give it a try, as in like I don't want to say the C word. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, leave a comment down below because I would be very surprised if you didn't. And also quite interested and curious. Anyways, let's continue. This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. Now we do have some relationship messages, which again, I'll get to in a second, but for the relationship message, there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. Very interesting as well, because a lot of us are quarantined and a lot of us are taking that seriously enough to the point that we don't actually go out, go on dates, go see the significant other that is important to us. A lot of us are in long distance relationships, etc., etc. So this time is obviously uncertain. I think this is the perfect bottom of the deck oracle card. Going with the flow. Prosperity message. Everything seems to work out when you stop scrambling and allow the sea of opportunities to wash over you and wake you up to your most prosperous potential. To get into that flow, you need to address your beliefs about abundance and money. The true meaning of your personal currency lies in your skills, your talents, and abilities, and most important, your core beliefs. Everything flows from your inner world and is reflected in the outer one. When grateful to serve, you align your prosperity consciousness with a higher consciousness. You can expect miracles. Everything you need will come to you easily. Interesting. And here's the protection message. I'll, by the way, show you this in a second. You can pause if you want to read. When external conditions appear to block every attempt to move forward, there is no hidden message for you to decipher. Like the ocean, the tides of experience ebb and flow. You are in a natural cycle, so know that things will flow again in due course. There is no cause for alarm. Stop resisting and fighting against the situation and learn to flow. Even when the tide is going out, relax and trust in the abundance that will soon be within your reach again. An ancient mariner saying applies to you now. When fishermen cannot go to sea, they stay home and repair their nets. I mean, what? Stay home? You guys have been told to stay home, and where I am, lots of things are closed. We're not allowed to do plenty of things. We can still go on walks and things like that, but we're told to stay the majority of our time at home, at least for those working in non-essential businesses. Stay home and repair their nets. How freaking perfect. And given that I never actually recall ever getting this card, I've had this deck for years, so that's pretty exciting. I'm going to show you now the card, and if it would be easier for you to pause the video to read that, feel free to do so. And here's the next page for the protection and prosperity. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing all right. We do have the cross on the bottom, and I think I have an inclination as to why that is. A lot of us are feeling, in fact, anxiety, I'm thinking. So that's what I'm getting with this card. So if that's resonating with you, then keep on watching. What have you guys been doing during this time on lockdown if you were affected by it as much as I have? Right now, I don't have work because I work for a small business, so those non-essential businesses are obviously affected. But yeah, like the reading says, I am trying to keep a prosperity mindset. This situation is definitely getting me to think differently about the world and the systems in place. So definitely a lot of introspection, retrospection, reflection, not only on myself, but in the world, and just gratitude overflowing. Yes, it's uncertain. I did hear that it might be extended until May 3rd, which is unfortunate because my birthday falls on April. Yes, travel plans have been sort of pushed aside, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Let's go with the flow. That's not important. But I wanted to share with you this lesson that I learned when I was doing a puzzle with my family. And that is, at first, it was frustrating, right? It was so frustrating to do this puzzle in the beginning because all of the pieces are mismatched and etc., etc. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, is this ever going to be done? My head is literally hurting. But then you start to see little patterns that might, you know, go together. So you put those aside, and soon enough you have this color-coded situation where things are starting to move forward and things are becoming solvable as time passes on, as you put more and more effort into this puzzle. And so eventually I found I found a couple pieces that fit together, and then I found another, and then I found another, and then I found another, and I was making progress in a way that made me confident about finishing the puzzle, whereas in the beginning I was so worried and scared about it. So essentially, you know, we finished the puzzle after multiple breaks, after a couple hours. A few hours went on by because there was a lot of us working on the puzzle, so that really helped out. If it was just by myself, it would have taken me way longer. And so our puzzle pieces, the little areas of the puzzle that we were working on, ended up connecting to each other in the end, right? So we figured out, okay, this guy's piece that he's working on connects to mine, so here I am, I'm going to put my puzzle over there and it's connecting, and blah blah blah. So I think like this is really a great lesson for this situation right now, is like we can all do our parts to figure out the situation. Some people are working on the puzzle of where did this virus really come from? What is the truth of the situation? Are the numbers accurate? Some people are in the healthcare industry taking care of the people who are sick. other people are staying home and then working on their passion projects and feeling relieved at the same time, maybe anxious of like their financial situation. And then there's people who are working on the government side trying to figure out, okay, how is this going to work out for this community, for the world, for international trade, etc., etc. How are we going to move on in the future knowing that something like this is possible because of the amount of traveling that people do? So yeah, that to me is really interesting. It's like we're working on our puzzles, and that's really where compassion comes in, because some of us can say, oh my gosh, this person is doing so much more to help, but maybe what we need to do is different from theirs. And that's not necessarily to say that just because you perceive that what they're doing is way more important than what you can do at this moment, does not mean that whatever it is that you're capable of, whatever it is that you have to do or feel like you have to do or are called to do at this moment, is somehow less than what this other person is doing, simply because they seem to be helping in a greater fashion, or maybe they're not out of work. Therefore, their work is deemed essential and yours is not. So a lot of that, I think, is coming up. And so this, for me, talks about having compassion for yourself, as well as those people who might be struggling during this time. Yeah, I have 4 stacks that you can choose from. This one's a little bit different because, yes, I will show you the cards here in the screen, but I really picked specific topics that you can choose from. So if you're interested in general overall messages, then you pick group 1. So general overall messages, don't know what's going to come up. I haven't looked at the stack. I do hope you enjoy this reading and this video. And then group 2, if you want to choose love for singles and for relationships, then you're going to pick group 2. Group 3, if you want to choose about finances and career messages regarding those specific areas, then you choose group 3. And group 4, if you want to choose about your life purpose and your personal legend, then you're going to choose group 4. Now these are going to be general messages. Obviously, I always say this every video just to reiterate the fact that there are going to be thousands of people watching this video, and obviously the message is not going to be curated to everybody and their specific situation. So again, just really tune into yourself, listen to the messages, and see how they may apply to you. You might disagree with the messages, but in that disagreement comes a solution or an answer, a message for you as well. So you will know instantly if these messages are for you based on whether or not you click with them, or you feel inspired or condemned to continue watching. But anyways, what's been going on with me? A few people have asked what's been going on with me. I did make a video, but I took it down because I just didn't like it, talking about how I went through this really weird mental state, almost like a psychosis, and I almost want to do a video about those experiences. I found myself seemingly as a different individual during that time. I'm better now, and a lot of it I think has to do with my desire and my love for healthy eating and just my spiritual practices. So that happened. Essentially what was happening was I was getting a lot of visions and dreams that were too intense for me to handle, where it really kept me in that state of uncertainty and depression. Some of the dreams were captivating enough to cause fear and anxiety in my daily life, causing me to lose focus at work, just feel overly paranoid about everything. Some of them were about like true love and could this person be the one, but at the same time feeling sort of skeptical about it at the same time. So it was a lot of confusion, and I was depressed to the point that I couldn't really get out of bed, and my time, or like my perception of time, really changed, as in some days I would think it would be a Monday, but it would actually be a Tuesday. And so I didn't even check the time because I was in my bed and literally I couldn't move much at all. And I even missed work because of that, because I didn't the timing, like my perception of time was just really off, that I ended up missing work. And I'm much better now. I feel confident going forward that I might have a better grasp of the situation. It could definitely be, you know, phones and Wi-Fi and the sensitivity to that. Or it could have just been maybe I wasn't eating the right nutrients. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but that happened, and thankfully I was healed. Very grateful for that. I'm going to put my Instagram also down below if you want to message me or reach out to me regarding how you're doing. I'd be really interested to talk to you about whatever it is that you feel inclined to share with me. And yeah, let's get started with the reading. If you picked group 1 for the overall general messages, these are your cards. For your Lenormand cards, you have Tower and the Ship. Interesting, because the Ship is about long distance traveling, maybe overseas. And then the Tower can be about government institutions, school, etc., just hospitals even. So regarding those really big institutions and buildings in the world, we've got the Hermit. You could be a Virgo or dealing with a Virgo. And then we've got the 9 of Swords. Interesting. All that glitters. Time for a nap. Okay, some of you guys are definitely in lockdown and in quarantine, and it's affecting you quite negatively. Or somewhat negatively. Okay, you have Abundance also, 88. 2 16s, all that glitters. That would be funny if I was doing that and then I basically got it wrong. That would be kind of like, whoa, you don't know how to do basic math, whoa. But 8 plus 8 is 16, is it? And all that glitters is 16. I need to go to school again and take a math class. I'm totally kidding. I can do basic math, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we have 2 9s. Very interesting. Lots of double numbers. The Hermit and the 9 of Swords. This to me is some of you guys are dealing with this isolation and you find yourself kind of anxious about it. Thoughts are in your head. You're getting worried. Possibly. You could be concerned regarding a job. You could be concerned regarding your school. You can be concerned about government. You could have your plans halted from the situation. Maybe you were planning to move somewhere. Maybe you were planning to move for a job, or you're working overseas for a job for the government. Maybe you're a traveling nurse, traveling doctor. Time for a nap. So, I mean, really, this one is quite simple. It's just really telling you to relax a little bit. If this is you and you're feeling this energy in your life right now, it's time for a nap. Take this time to just relax and know that everything is going to be okay with the Abundance card. Now, all that glitters is interesting because to me, this reminds me of things that you want to have, or things that you do have and that call out to you, that maybe are things of luxury and etc., etc. But see how there's masks there? So there's something there's a truth coming out regarding the situation, that maybe the luxuries that you once enjoyed or once desired in the past are now coming to light as something more than what you thought it was, in negative sense. Let's go and look at the official meanings of that in the book, but that's what I'm getting from that card. Because again, this is a card that I also don't normally get. Here are the essential meanings. A need to see beyond the superficial. The desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly thing, and being mercurial. So what I'm getting with the All That Glitters card, and especially this and the Hermit, now that you're in this self-isolation situation or feeling quite anxious about, maybe not being able to hang out with certain individuals, and being stopped from your normal day-to-day routines and habits. I think that you're starting to learn that, it's what is essential to you and your life and what is meaningful is starting to really come to light with all that glitters. I'm sensing that a lot of you guys wanted to travel. You have travel plans. Maybe some of you guys are having a birthday during this season and you had all of these plans and you wanted to wear all of these cute, beautiful things, and then you wanted to post it on social media. Some of you guys could be influencers as well. So yeah, I'm also getting that you feel scared that your dreams are now not going to be coming true because of the situation. Like you had so much plans you had so much plans to do this, to do that, but something in this situation halted those plans, and you're starting to, again, I feel like a genuine gratefulness is brewing up, but also really the desire, or the need to just take it slow, go with the flow, like this oracle card to the sea says, go with the flow. Okay, so yeah, your overall essential message is, yes, you might be going through a tough time, but the Hermit really shows up here as a very good sign and a good indication that now it's time to look into yourself, into your heart, listen to what your heart has to say, and see what is essential to you, what is truly meaningful and valuable to you, as all of these things that you thought you would always have are now kind of being challenged. Yeah, with the cross here in addition to the 4 of Cups. And so yeah, have compassion for yourself and for others during this time. Also, this one's interesting. If this is resonating with you, the Sea and the Tower, please do comment below. Like, what does this mean for you? Are you working overseas and are you scared about being stuck there? Or did you have plans to move? Did you have plans to travel? Or rather, are you feeling insecure, like you're not going to be helped out in this situation? I'm also getting that distance from this sort of grounding aspect in our lives, whether it be hospital care, medical care, school, education, work, all of these things, government assistance during this time if you need to, like, totally get the stresses, but again, try and go with the flow, relax, take a nap a little bit. Maybe this is a good sign to take things slower. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy this reading, and comment down below what you thought or anything that resonates with you. I'd be really interested in knowing. And again, feel free to hit me up, DM me, message me on Instagram if you are feeling called to. Thank you for watching. Alright, so group 2, if you picked the love deck or the love love group, you have the Mountain and the Rider for your Lenormand cards. Then you also have the House and the Birds. Okay, so instantly I'm getting like some of you guys could be with family at this point, and some of you guys are really like thinking about your crush. Some of you are younger, I'm getting. You're thinking about your crushes, you're talking about it maybe with your siblings more, your parents, now that you are spending more time with them. But with the Mountain here, yeah, like the love situation that you're experiencing, it's kind of a little bit difficult. There's challenges there, especially with the quarantine happening. I mean, some of you guys are like defiant of that anyway, but death shows up, so maybe this is a message of heeding the advice of the healthcare professionals and those who advise us to stay home and, wash your hands and practice good hygiene and all of these things. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio and air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. So we also have serendipity. Some of you guys are like this is your serendipitous moment. If any of you are getting messages regarding the 4-leaf clover, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to flip you off, but if you're getting messages of the 4-leaf clover, this is that serendipitous moment that maybe this reading is for you, and there might be a message that you can benefit from. A leg up. Look at that with the mama bear and the baby cub. Could be a message regarding your parents helping you out during this time. Somebody who is more accomplished or more financially secure helping you out during this time. And then you also have spirituality. I'm noticing here that you have 2 3s with the mountain and the birds. So the birds can be about siblings. It can also be about talk, gossip. Some of you guys could be dealing with gossip. I don't know. In the house, possibly, or a rider. I'm getting like this moment in particular of the reading is being really directed towards a young girl who has a crush on somebody, and she's talking about that with her siblings, and just talking about the challenges of that as well. This could mean, you know, finding bonding in your home situation through this challenge, and really talking about that, talking about the possible solutions as well. So you got horses, the horses here. So yeah, some of you guys are definitely concerned about loved ones, the elderly. Yes, you want to go out and you want to party. So a lot of us here are younger people, millennials or Gen Z, who are like feeling held back by this. You want to socialize, but at the same time, you know, you want to be smart and heed the advice of those experts and professionals who say, hey, please stay home. Yeah, so this could also be a warning I'm getting with the Knight of Swords and the Death card, a kind of a warning to take it a little bit more seriously, just in case. You know, just so that this can be over with as soon as possible. But it looks like things are moving forward in the same light, like the situation seems to be coming to an end. A lot of the angst, I think, is coming from also boredom and not knowing where to put that energy in. But don't worry, because someone is going to help you. This doesn't even have to be your parents. It could be a guardian, or it could just be like help from the government, help from the institutions who are taking this seriously. Like, you know, if you have bills to pay that you don't feel very able to pay because of, you know, you being out of work also, or what have you, there's going to be assistance in that way. Like, you can postpone some of those payments if you just call them up, or call them up if you contact them. Spirituality, this could be a good time as well to kind of get deeper into your spiritual practices. Spirituality in the sense then would be like to get really in tune and in touch with yourself and into your feelings, and maybe ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What do I think about this situation? By the way, if I'm talking weird, it's because I have my retainers. What is it called? Yeah, my invisible retainers. I know it was supposed to be a love reading, but I was getting all of these messages that I just felt really guided to kind of talk about. Yeah, so for those of you who are interested in somebody, you can recall maybe an incident with a 4-leaf clover, or talk about clovers. That could be a possibility regarding like a confirmation regarding who you're interested in. But in addition, this could also be a message of something that reminds you of like a huge coincidence about somebody, right? So if you're wondering, okay, is this person right for me? Then this is that message for you. If you remember a serendipitous moment that you shared and felt so intense to you, maybe regarding a 4-leaf clover even, or any of these symbols that you see here. Could be about a bear or a horse, possibly. Could also be a mountain, birds, a house, maybe in your neighborhood or something. Those could be serendipitous moments during this reading regarding your love situation. Now, the Knight of Swords, Death, in addition to the Rider and the Mountain, is quite interesting. Some of you guys might be feeling angst with your partner, you know, being holed up together. And I'm also feeling like some of you guys have been getting into fights with your partner lately. So if this is you, this is a message of kind of slowing things down, or calming down a little bit and having compassion with the situation. Like you both, just, you know, just getting in tune with your heart and the relationship, and kind of remembering why you got into the relationship. And yeah, I'm getting like just a lot of blaming and talking down onto each other, pent up sexual energy for some of the guys. Like you just want to get out there, you want to meet this girl, and etc., etc. But ultimately this situation could be a leg up in whatever it is that you're inquiring about. So maybe the time separation or the distance perhaps can be of ultimate benefit to you. It doesn't mean that eventually you're going to end up together. That's up to you. That's not up to the reading. All of this is just me reading into the energetic frequencies that I'm sensing. Okay, it's up to you to take that as how you want. But I really feel like you're going to have assistance in this time, and this could be a leg up in whatever you're trying to attain with the Knight of Swords. Like I feel like you guys have goals. You have desires out of this situation. You want to get together. You like this girl. You don't know what to do, how long this is going to take. But I feel like this period, I think everybody really is having this hermit energy type of situation, as well as the Four of Cups. Interestingly, I found the reversed Four of Wands underneath. So a lot of our foundations are being shaken as if, you know, we're experiencing a storm. So yeah, if this is you and you're feeling your foundations shaken up a little bit, not too much, but if it is, then you'll get a leg up. Just have faith in that. This is your serendipitous message, and this reading is for you, okay? You know, spiritually speaking, this is about having positive thoughts, believing in the divine, believing in higher intelligence even, that everything is rigged in your favor. You're here for a reason. You're alive. You have survived. You're breathing for a reason, okay? Your story is just beginning. It's not over yet. So keep going and have faith. You know, it could definitely help you, by the way, to share some of your thoughts with maybe your siblings, or to share some of your thoughts, express them regarding this mountain and this rider. Could be somebody coming into your life, a man coming into your life, whatever situation has come and kind of created an obstacle or a challenge for you. It could be very beneficial to share them with others in your household, and to talk about some of those worries and etc. with them. Maybe it's a roommate, your family member, siblings, again. So that is your reading if you picked stack 2. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you got something useful of it. I'm sorry it didn't confirm, like, oh, you're gonna get married during the quarantine. I know that that's what some people expect, but I'm trying to see if I'm finding any other messages. Oh, you know what else I'm getting? For some of you guys, this situation is exactly what is the answer to your... For some of you guys, this situation is the answer to your prayers, almost in a weird way. Like, you can do something good for yourself, for your situation, your unique situation during this weird time that we are experiencing with the virus and everything. And like this powerful force that I think everyone is sort of affected by, definitely everyone is affected by this some way, somehow. This powerful force is a means to bring transformation in you personally with spirituality, but also with everybody in the world. And this is going to be a huge transformative event and situation that I feel like will ultimately lead to abundance. And it might not seem like that. A lot of people have negative views, but I'm quite optimistic actually in the ways in which this can change the world in the grand scheme of things. So hopefully you enjoyed that reading, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Alright, group 3. If you picked your finances and career, the cards that you got... Oh, what? You only have one card for the Lenormand. You have the Lily. You also have the 5 of Wands, the 3 of Cups. Imagine, beautiful. 20, you have To Be Fair. And Forgiveness. So instantly I'm sensing 2s here. 2 2s with the 20 and the 2 with the lilies. Oh, you also have another 2 with To Be Fair. So in terms of finances and career, you're feeling conflicted because I think that you have hope. You feel abundance in your life. You have belief in maybe your preparation for something like this. But at the same time, there's a part of you that's like kind of scrambling to feel more secure, right? But with the Imagine, Lilies, and To Be Fair, I'm feeling like you guys are just trying to visualize a fair and realistic and practical outcome through this whole situation, how you can move forward in a practical way, but at the same time imagine the best possible outcome. You know, with forgiveness, it's interesting. Like, do you guys have anybody that you feel like you need to forgive at this time that might be weighing you down or making you feel angry? It could be a work situation. Someone at work really made you mad. Maybe you had a meeting or what have you. With the 3 of Cups, I think that this is showing like an agreement of some sort. And again, it doesn't have to be with another individual. This could all be internal. You could be technically putting yourself down because like maybe you weren't prepared enough. But to be fair, none of this was anticipated. And so this is sort of like a message to kind of help you out, help you feel better. Have compassion for yourself during this time if you weren't as prepared as you wished or wanted to be, or feeling like you're not as prepared as other people in something like this, feeling like you're not as knowledgeable as other people. You know, have compassion in that situation. With the lilies here, this is about sexuality, sensuality, innocence also. I'm also getting wisdom from here, but a lot of it is, in this particular reading, it's about wisdom and innocence. And maintaining that, not letting the situation make you feel like it's the end of the world, or not being hung up on whatever disagreements that you have. I'm getting like there's gonna be forgiveness happening. Perhaps someone at your job that you got in an argument with, there's gonna be forgiveness in that. There's gonna be forgiveness in the way things are handled. Maybe you had a fight with a coworker or a boss, you know, there's going to be a mutual understanding and maybe a camaraderie coming from the situation. So, oh, you know what I'm also getting? I'm getting like there is going to be a forgiveness in the situation. Like, you know, if you're worried about bills or anything, like with the finances and career, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, some banks are forgiving like late fees and everything like that for until May or June. Yeah, June or maybe even May. So, no, definitely May, but I don't know about June, possibly until June when all of this is over. Like, they can forgive your bills till then if you just call and contact them. So that's a possible meaning of that. And I think it's only fair because everybody really is impacted by this in some form. So I think that that's the fair outcome, fair solution to this. Now, Imagine is interesting. So yeah, like imagine everything is going to be working out fine. Like you're watching this video, this is a message that everything is going to work out fine. So try not to be too stressed about it. A lot of the people were getting messages about relaxation, like particularly group 1 had a message for relaxation. That could definitely have something to do with the message for you as well. If you're feeling anxious, which I think you are slightly, although I do feel like there's a part of you that doesn't really want to admit it. You're trying to remain level-headed because there's already a part of you that understands that and gets a sense of that. So yeah, I don't know what these disagreements are about. I'm also sensing like some of you guys are intellectuals or professionals who are disagreeing maybe with the facts of this matter, disagreeing with the health aspects, like whether or not these are the right things to do regarding the situation. Maybe you're disagreeing with how to go about the situation. Could be you. So yeah, this is just a time for you to be compassionate about your situation, compassionate with yourself and the other person perhaps, or the part of you that is kind of opposing that. So, I mean, I'm certainly getting messages from that already of just like, you know what, there's really nothing I can do about my job being closed, but there's so many things I can do now that I have some free time and some new knowledge, some new insight regarding whatever is happening. Yeah, let's just go with the flow, you know, take things one day at a time and be as informed as possible without like bombarding ourselves with it to cause even more like chaos in our thoughts and in our minds. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, if you picked group 4, hi group 4, your life purpose and personal legend reading is coming right up. So you've got the tree. This card for me always comes up as health or ancestry and just like where you came from, your roots, right? Empress could be regarding a motherly figure. We also have the 5 of Swords, regeneration, 46, soulmates, and karmic completion. Okay, so unfortunately, some of you guys have gone through a loss recently, maybe of like an elder in your family. But you really felt very close to this person, this motherly figure. I'm getting really strong, like grandmom or great grandma, something like that, just like passing, and like you feeling like they're your soulmate. But at the same time, I feel like this period or this pain can be also like a blessing in disguise. Like you are going to shortly be meeting your soulmate because your, loved one is really guiding you. Now, the 7 of Swords is interesting. I'm sensing like some of you like really want to break the rules of the current situation. Yeah, like you're concerned about the health of maybe someone that you care about, but you also want to break the rules a little bit and you need to go outside and you're just feeling really anxious. But interestingly, since this is about your life purpose and personal legend, I'm getting like some of you guys are really meant to be mothers and the matriarchs of your family. Your personal legend is being like a pillar for your future family if you don't have one already. Or it could just be being like a strong female presence for those around you. This one is really like bugging me a little bit. I'm gonna get some clarifiers for that one because I feel like I need clarifiers. I'm also sensing that for those who pick stack 4, this period can be a positive situation for you ultimately with the regeneration, soulmates, and karmic completion. I think that this period can really bring up some introspection about certain individuals that might be considered as a soulmate to you, whether it's romantic or not. It could also be an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Okay, so some of you guys are probably fearing like someone cheating on you, or someone being dishonest. Could be a Gemini, or an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. I'm also getting like this sense of impatience. Now the reason why I'm saying all of these things right now that might not necessarily be deemed as in relation to the topic of life purpose and personal legend is because I'm looking to give out messages for those who this reading truly resonates to. So yeah, some of you guys are feeling very antsy, like, okay, what's taking so long? I want things to move on faster. There's impatience here. So, you know, this is, again, with impatience and the bottom of the deck of the numerology card being compassion, this is all about being patient about the situation. And again, going with the flow, okay? With this to the Sea card, going with the flow and trusting that you will be led with this compass to the place where you are meant to go. Let's see. Looking for fives. Okay, so fives, soulmates, and the tree. Yeah, like I'm really feeling like a lot of you who picked group 4 feel very closely to like your grandparents or an elderly person. And I think what's grounding you in this present time also is like maybe your love for someone. This person, whoever this represents to you, this sneaky 7 of Swords energy of not being completely honest, is not that person. So here, next to the Lovers, it becomes a choice. Some of you guys are dealing with questions in your mind whether a certain individual is the right one for you. You know, you're questioning that. That's what I'm getting for those who picked stack 4. In terms of like, okay, what is your life purpose, personal legend? I want to see if we can answer that question or at least give you some clues. Like I mentioned earlier, some of you here, if this is resonating with you, you are meant to be a mother, a grandmother, like just be with your family and love your family, be like a light to your family. And honestly, some of you guys are meant to find your love of your life. You're meant to be in a relationship. You're meant to have a family. You're meant to build a lineage with the tree here. And yes, things could be, you know, going quite slow. And maybe you're impatient. Like you want to go see this girl, see this guy, and see what he's about. You want to meet up. But during this time, that's kind of like, you know, kind of taking the back seat. Some of you guys are also interested in somebody new, and this new prospect is like, you know, making you wonder if, okay, maybe this person's the one. But, you know, take a look at whether or not that can be impatience with the Lovers, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords here, because I'm really feeling like this here is like you want to break the rules a little bit. Like, I don't want to be in this lockdown. I don't want to stay at home. I don't want to do social distancing. I want to go and meet this person and talk with this person and get to know this person in a physical way. But again, I'm really feeling like this is be patient. Because someone here as well in the same pile is really concerned about someone that they care about, an elderly person. Some of you guys have helped out the elderly and like try to be of assistance to them and are really concerned about them during this time. Karmic completion. If some of you are worried about the situation, this is the natural flow of things. So we're going to go along with it and just have faith that this is a karmic completion and this is not the end of the world. And yes, things might change after this in a significant way, but it's just happening as it should be, okay? Lots of new things, new ideas, new people, new inspiration is going to come from this situation, and that's really how I feel. Just right now, though, there could be a cross. Some of you guys could be, this is on the bottom of this cross deck. Some of you guys could be self-employed or a boss, and you're worried about your small business possibly. Underneath that is love, though, so, you know, you're supported, definitely, although the cross is here. Yeah, so, I mean, I think all of these stacks are pretty much, like, connected, of course, as they always are, truthfully. But hopefully, you know, some of those messages click with you, and, yeah. Let's just go with the flow. Everything's going to be all right. Karmic completion to the sea. This is the course of things, and yeah, it's going to be all good. We're going to get through this together, and I really feel like this full thing is a very interesting card. Right after that is also the Hierophant. So, you know, I'm really feeling like for those who picked stack 4, your soulmate, your person is coming soon. Let's just be patient. And I think that you are guided and blessed by an angel looking over you. It could have been a passed on person or just somebody looking out for you during this time. Like, I really feel like that person is coming for you. Come on, you got the Lovers, the Hierophant, soulmates, the Fool, the Tree, karmic completion, regeneration. You know, maybe some of you guys have been single for a long time. Your life purpose, your personal legend as of right now is your family, is your loved one. And I'm sorry if that doesn't resonate with you. If not, it's completely okay, but that's really the strongest message that I'm getting here. Has something to do with a woman, older woman, matriarch, family, marriage, spiritual partnership, which, by the way, comes right after the compassion card. All right, so, and oh, look at this, domestic harmony also. So that's your reading, you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if it resonated with you down below. And if not, just know that it's probably not for you, or yeah, likely not for you, and the messages are meant for somebody else. So thank you. If it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, talk to me on Instagram because I'm always checking that now. I'm trying to check it now and reply to everybody. But yeah, hope you have a good day or night wherever you are, and stay positive, stay optimistic. I know I am, and I am feeling some of those anxiety. You know, I'm trying to be as positive as possible and be as smart as possible and just, you know, kind of look at this in a holistic perspective. But yeah, totally get it. I would love to hear what you have to say down below in the comments. Share with me, what are your thoughts on the situation? Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, bye-bye.